YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode here on ESGNet, and this is the Dallas Cowboys Insider, and this is episode 36 as we take a quick review here of Week 13, as Week 13 was a pretty good week here, I have to say, for the Cowboys as they get another win here. That's now 5 in a row here now, I think 5 or 6 in a row for the Cowboys, and this week they went on to get a victory there over the Carolina Panthers there at Thursday night game. We have another Thursday night game. As you take a look there, it's going to be the Giants there. We'll talk a bit more about them here and later on. But Cowboys had a great game there. They did a great job there. Did an excellent job really containing Cam Newton as they kept him down. I don't think he had over 20 rushing yards in the game. McCaffrey had close. He had a little over 20, but he did have one rushing touchdown, which was a goal line situation there, where he was able to get an excellent score there. Just take a look at the video from that game. But yeah, for the most part here, it was a great game. Dak Prescott, 16 of 24, 64% of his passes were completed, 219 yards, 2 touchdowns, and of course he had a pick there, which I mentioned in the video. I'm not going to hold that against him because he was not supposed to be in the second half there at all, and I don't know why the game decided to put him. I put him as a third stringer in the depth chart there, so I don't understand why the game did that. But we also had passes there from a couple of passes from Cooper Rush, 2 or 5, 40% of passes were complete. He only had 24 yards, but he also had that NIT also, and so did Kaepernick. He also was in the game there, and you'll see some of those numbers here in just a bit. But for the most part, there we're pretty first half there. You should take a look, 182 yards passing, 112 yards rushing, so we were just about somewhere not nearly balanced, but we were getting better there in the second half there with the rushing. Bird, he had 22 carries, 158 yards into the game, with a rushing touchdown and 2 broken tackles. McFadden helped him out with 5 carries, 17 yards, and a broken tackle also. I've been trying to balance those two out, but for whatever reason, McFadden is just not doing a good job here carrying out. I don't know if it's because of his age or if he's a little upset because of he was thinking maybe he was going to be the next guy up after Zeke is currently injured right now. But with Bird, he's got the hot hand right now. The last couple of games he's had a pretty good game, and coaches talking to them, they say they want to keep that going here. Because he could be the future. Now, as for McFadden, he was brought back last year because he had a great year with them, and I think he wants to have an improvement in his role in the rushing game there, which I don't blame him after having a great season that he had last year. He's kind of revitalized himself, and he's becoming a more I guess wise and more good runner and just also ball carrier stuff and such. So we may end up giving him some more carries here. We're trying our best to split the carries between the two of them evenly, and so but the coaches so far, they say they're really they don't see the McFadden like they seen last year, and especially in this game here today or the other day or for this week. But they say they are going to try to work on splitting the carries there for both of them. Just take a look. Cam Newton, 1 touchdown, 271 yards passing, 62% of his passes were completed. There you see 22 of 35 from Newton. Like I said, Dak there having a pretty good game there. We've actually been doing, coaches have said it too. They've been doing a good job. They're not letting Dak throw so many passes, and the combination of having him and Rush, play kind of bounce off each other. Occasionally have maybe Rush have a couple of tosses in the game there in a certain formation. Same thing with Kaepernick. Might be something in the future that they could be working on to help out Dak with his interceptions, so he's not out there throwing you know, 30 to 40. They want to keep it. They want to kind of cap it somewhere around 35 passes a game, which to me that sounds like a reasonable number for him. But we'll have to see how the coaches will go. Just taking a look at some of the receiving numbers there. Let's talk about the receivers. Cole Beasley, 3 receptions, 26 yards, a touchdown. Terrence Williams, 2 receptions, 34 yards, and a touchdown. Jason Witten, 2 receptions, 54 yards, and Dez Bryant, 3 receptions, 29 yards in the game. Defensively, we had a pretty good day. Defensively, we had Hitchens, 7 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. Smith had 5 tackles. Jalen Smith, I should say, 5 tackles, a tackle for loss, and 2 sacks. Demarcus Lawrence had 5 tackles, tackle for loss, and 2 sacks, along with Stephen Pitta, who had a half a sack with 2 tackles and a tackle for loss. So yeah, just a great game there defensively. You know, the guys were able to step up, even though you know, you see there, you know, Kuechly had an interception which he almost near broke off getting down the field there, but we were able to get a hold of him. I would have to say this was a really good week here. We really had a great job there. We were able to get a good lead going to half, and then going to the third quarter, we were able to go down the score. And in the fourth quarter, you know, we just kind of not necessarily put in cruise control, but just kind of just trying to utilize the running game a lot more. And that's something I talked to coaches about this week, and that's something they said they're going to be trying to work on a lot more, is trying to slow down the running game. You know, just take their time and not try to rush into it, or just try to barrel into it, and just really maybe even give more carries. That could be something they can go into, you know, with McFadden. Just give him a lot more carries to go into it. Just take a look here. Take a look at your top players of the game, or the week here, and none from us. Le'Veon Bell and Gay, both from the Steelers. They're both our AFC offensive and defensive players of the week, so congratulations to them. Johnson, running back for Cardinals there, had a great week, and so did Griffin of the Vikings there. So good week there for those guys. I wish one of our guys were on that list there for the NFC offense, especially like our rookie. He's just not getting any love right now, and I'm hoping that with these starts that he's taking advantage of, and he's taking advantage of them. If you guys have been noticing, he's been taking advantage of those. He knows that he's got an audition pretty much. This is his audition for next season to take over in the place of not necessarily Zeke Elliott, but of McFadden, if they decide to bring McFadden back, because I believe McFadden only has a 1-year contract with the Cowboys. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, pretty much I would have to say right now, legitimately, if I was, you know, one of the coaches on this team, or if I was Jason Garrett right now, I'd be like, he is our number 2 halfback going to next season, because he has definitely worked it off. Now, hopefully he doesn't have a sophomore slump. Hopefully he'll get better, and you know, and get, you know, with more carries, he gets more knowledgeable and more confident and more talented as we go along. Now, as for next week's game, we're going to be going against the Giants there. As you see, the Giants, well, they had a rough go there. They had a pretty good start, and then they started losing a lot of games there. I think they lost 5 straight or so. They won against the Redskins. They lost against the Eagles in a very close game, 17-7 there in Philly. But then they come back and win against the Jaguars and the Titans, which all the teams here in the NFC East are playing against the AFC South this season. And there you see 66-31 there against the Jags, and then 31-28 in a close one there just last week against the Titans. So now they're getting ready for us. It's another Thursday night football game here, so that means another nationally broadcast game, meaning we had a better week here in practice. Talking to coaches there, coaches said the guys were happy, they were excited, they were hardworking, and they were really, they of course, bulletin board material wise, there was quite a bit of it. There was a lot of talk on, both radio stations in Dallas and in New York, as usual this time of the year. and talking about who's going to do what. Giants talking about, they're going to put another L on the board there against the against them. And if you remember, the last time these two teams played again was just a couple weeks ago, and it was not in the shape of the Giants at all, as the Giants pretty much got manhandled by the Cowboys in that game. And for the most part there, that was one of the things that Des Bryant said in a local radio interview about that, and he said he's ready to go on. Not the usual Des Bryant stuff where he's kind of been more reserved. I don't know if there's the coaches still telling him that, or he's just becoming a lot more mature. But yeah, he says the team and himself are ready, and they're ready to go on and put on a good show here for the Dallas fans there in New York. So take a look there at Week 14, and pretty much our game plans, again, throwing short, medium passes, not getting too crazy with it, and also, too, on offense, try to shut down, or defensively, try to shut down Beckham Jr. So we'll try to see if we can shut him down. Of course, Eli, if we put some pressure on him, he's willing to throw the ball and get it out of his hands and try to give it to somebody. And, of course, that'll be great for us as we can try to pick those off. So we might have some good interception numbers during this game. Offensively, Collins is a guy that he's going to attack. He's going to come in on the blitz. He's also going to sit back and watch the pass. And, of course, with the way Dak's been playing right now as of late, he might have a good game. So that's something we're going to try to avoid. Now, as we look into some of the numbers here this season for the Giants, well, they have been, Odell Beckham hasn't been playing that well. Odell Beckham, 57 receptions, 784 yards, 3 passing touchdowns already this season. That's just this season alone. I believe he was out for a couple weeks for injury, but since then, he has not been picking up as much here. And we'll take a look at Murray. Now we had a tough time with Murray last time running. I know he had a pretty decent game against it. I don't know the numbers here. For wherever my intern, for whatever reason, misplaced the numbers. But as for right now, he has 179 carries for 628 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 7 broken tackles, 5 fumbles, 10 receptions, and 116 yards receiving in the game, the season so far. So, if I remember right, I think he had a really big run on us. He had one big, huge rushing touchdown that got to us. But for the most part, they're containing him. It's always tough, regardless if he's having a bad game, a good or bad game. He's always one of those backs that's really tough to shut down. Eli Manning, passing rating right now at 86.3. Your rating right now 2,587 yards, 18 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 38 sacks, and his completion is at 62% this year. So Eli, I think our numbers are good against him defensively. I think we can be able to shut him down. And like I said, maybe even if we can apply enough pressure on him, maybe to get him to throw a couple picks. Collins, on the other hand, here defensively, 85 tackles and interception. He's kind of quiet, but again, a big game like this against us, he's chomping at the bit to make a case here against Dak Prescott, and especially the way Dak Prescott's been throwing this season. As for JPP, well, take a look at his numbers: 42 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, and 8 sacks for the season here. Kind of, decent numbers here for him. Hasn't been a big impact for the team. As you can tell, of course, they're not winning too many games here. But couple of games they've actually won, he's actually been stepping up there. I think in that last game he had 3 sacks alone by himself, and almost 12 tackles by himself there in the big game they had against the Jaguars just 2 weeks ago. As for Jenkins, well, Jenkins is their other corner there. He's a great corner there. He has 2 interceptions for the season. He also ran one back for a touchdown. He has 58 tackles and 1 sack this season. So not really pressure-wise, but he's a great coverage corner that will put pressure on us. As you take a look there, he's a good man-to-man. So sticking with, he'll probably be matched up probably more with Dez than anything. So we have to watch out for that. And if we can't get the ball to Dez, then definitely we need to get Terrence Williams involved a lot, because Terrence Williams, as was late here in the last couple of games, has been doing a great job there in the receiving game. So we'll see if that can continue next week as we get ready for the Cowboys, or for the Giants there. So a big week coming up here, as you see there, the 6-6. Remember, 6-6 teams, 500 teams, you don't know where they're going at. This could be the week that they just bounce them back, and especially with the way they've been winning these last 2 games here, this could be a very close game here. And of course, you know, everybody wants to put an L on us since the Jaguars game there, because you know we got beat by the Jaguars, but they beat the Jaguars. So that will definitely say something if they can beat us and they already beat the Jaguars, and they can beat us. That's really going to put a feather in their cap this season. So that is it for this week for the Cowboys Insider. Definitely stay tuned for episode, I believe it's episode 43 of the Dallas Cowboys franchise. We'll see what the Cowboys do in the next episode as they're on the road here in week 14 and take on the New York Giants. That is it for this episode, you guys, of the Dallas Cowboys franchise. As always, leave a like if you enjoyed today's episode. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Dallas Cowboys here on ESGNet. Hit that bell notification so you guys will be notified when the latest videos are uploaded to the channel, so you guys can check that out. Check this series or any other series that we have here on ESGNet. Also, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Discord. The links are down below in the description. Check us out there for the latest news and events on what's going on here in the world of sports gaming and in the world of sports in general. Thank you guys again so much, and as always, keep yourselves healthy, and I will see you guys next time.